Lil Durk took more losses than any motherfucker in the drill culture. So when people ask me, is he gonna stop the war? Can he stop the war? I don't think he can stop the war. I think this shit bigger than him. Plus, a lot of them wars are old. That shit on the internet. That shit done with. A lot of people don't even live in them same communities, live in them houses. Motherfuckers done grew up. But as far as what's going on now, that's them shorties out here killing. This new shit that's inherited. I don't think Dirk can stop that, and I don't know if he want to stop that. The best he can do is forget about shit. I don't know if he can forgive people and shit. He took more losses than anybody in the culture. He took more losses than Chief Keef, than everybody. Don't get me wrong, Chief Keef took a lot of losses. He lost his brother. He lost a lot of homies. But them homies, you know, Dirk family was targeted. I targeted Dirk family and picked them out one by one on some real shit. This is Baby D. A lot of people know him as Darnell. This is actually the blood cousin of Lil Durk. He was actually shot and killed some years ago in a parking lot of McDonald's. Gunman came up and got the shooting blicking, and he ended up losing his life. It was several people shot. It was several people that was with Baby D. OTF Leron Fresh, I believe he was shot in the knee, but he survived. Lil Durk brother D-Thang was with him too. He was shot in several places. He actually survived too, but unfortunately, Baby D ended up losing his life due to the injuries that he sustained in that gunfire. You know, at that time, it was a real strong war going on in the streets, and he was still in the neighborhood. He was real close to Dirk, kind of like an enforcer, the type of nigga that'll hold Dirk down if anybody came up on Dirk. OTF D-Thang, Lil Durk brother, the man behind Lil Durk. You know, his death shocked the world because he was killed very close to Chicago in Harvey, Illinois, outside of a nightclub. A lot of people don't realize that his death is not really a secret. It was a big brawl inside of that club that spilled outside of the club. It was even a big gun shootout and shit. Police officers got shot, all kind of shit. D-Thang was shot in the head, ended up losing his life, you know, instantly. It's rumors that D-Thang killer was killed that same day, you know, retaliation. According to the police, a guy named Seneca was killed later on that night. The police believe that could have been retaliation. They actually posted that in an article in the newspaper. But D-Thang's death kind of shocked the whole world. A lot of people didn't see that coming because he always was throwing parties and shit like that. It's just that this party kind of got out of hand. This was around the time where the violence was super high. FBG Duck just lost his life and all kind of shit. And unfortunately, D-Thang ended up being killed outside of a nightclub in Harvey, Illinois called Club O. In 2015, OTF Chino, which is Lil Durk manager, he was sitting outside of a restaurant in his car in the Avalon Park neighborhood, and a gunman walked up on his vehicle and shot inside of the car, wounding several people in the car. Chino was killed due to gun violence off that incident. Unfortunately, his killers are still on the run. That case has been cold, no suspects. King Von, one of drill rap elites, he was actually murdered outside of a nightclub in Atlanta called Monaco's Hookah Lounge. He got into a scruffle with Quando Rondo, which is another rapper from Savannah, Georgia. He walked up on him and punched him, gave him a haymaker. A big scuffle ensued. Next thing you know, Quando Rondo close friend Lil Tim hops out of a vehicle and guns King Von down. It was a big shootout with the police and everybody involved. King Von ended up losing his life due to gun violence that night. That shocked the whole drill rap community when that happened. OTF Nunu, which is Lil Durk's cousin, he was killed in 2014, actually on the south side of Chicago, outside of an outside strip mall. A gunman walked up to his car and started blinking inside of his car. Nunu actually tried to get away. He crashed into a window of one of the stores and shopping centers that was outside of there. He ended up losing his life. Those gunshots ended up being fatal. This Tasky, one of Lil Durk's closest friends, he was actually killed, I believe, in 2011. He was standing in a crowd on a block on the south side of Chicago when a car pulled up. Two gunmen exited, started shooting the whole block up. He was actually hit several times, ended up losing his life due to gunshots that he sustained during that shooting. The crazy part is the people who killed Tasky ended up being captured. They was arrested and charged with the murder. This Lamron Lil Mo, this a close homie of Lil Durk. You can tell cause Dirk name drop him in a lot of songs. It almost feel like we know him. He was killed early in the culture, I believe in like 2009 or 2010. Don't quote me on this. He was standing on the block when the Grand Prix rolled up on the side of him and got to shooting. He was gunned down. He lost his life that day. The violence is real strong. You know when you get killed when a car ride up on the side of you, raise the window down and kill you? That's textbook gang slams. That kind of mean it's gang banging. Big Law, he was actually like a mentor to Dirk. He was like a big homie to Dirk. You know, he was there for Dirk. He ended up losing his life when he came home from being locked up. He like a leader of the BDs. He one of the big homies of this shit. Unfortunately, he was killed in a parked car in front of his own house, sitting in a car with his friend when another car rolled up on the side of them, shot in his car and sped off. Big Law ended up losing his life due to those gunshots. It was a lot of rumors about Big Law death. It was rumors that, you know, he came home and tried to take control of the gangs. It's rumors that the cartel did some. To this day, nobody really knows, but the streets say the OPPS was behind that. Sherrod Liggins. That's another one of Dirk's childhood friends. A lot of people just think King Von. Dirk was cool with people in O Block, you know. I think before King Von, probably around the same time, if I'm not wrong. But Sherrod, that was a close homie of Dirk. He was actually found laying on the ground in front of O Block with a gunshot wound to the head. He was pronounced dead. He actually the brother of Charles Liggins, aka C Murder. He was on the case of FBG Duck. He was convicted in the murder of Duck Death. Like, it's a path of murders that been around Dirk for a long time. And a lot of the murders happened after Dirk got on his rap shit. So a lot of people feel like, you know, motherfuckers was attacking Dirk because he was dissing through the music, all kind of shit. But he wasn't still living in these hoods and shit. His homies was still in these hoods fighting these wars and shit. I don't think Dirk was fighting on wars. A lot of them wars came when Dirk kind of got on his rap shit. Now, some did happen before, don't get me wrong. That's why they rap about life before the rap. But a lot of shit started happening after Dirk got on. I don't know if he was still in the field, you know. He did get caught with gun cases and shit like that. But as far as being in the field, riding around, sliding on people, I don't think Dirk was doing shit like that for the last 10 years, to be honest with you, on some real music shit. Like right now, I think he at a point in his life, he doing videos with Muslims. You know, he talking about he healed, he got a pacemaker in his chest. I don't think Dirk really out here on those street shit. I think his homies out. You know, now I could be wrong doing this shit, but I don't think he can push the peace like that because it's too much death. People around him, the LA Capone, Dirk done paid for funerals and shit. He can't be dropping songs and inviting people on concert with him that done kill some of his friends and shit, knowing he done been around their mamas, their cousins, their brothers. That's the real life. I know a lot of people say, it's been a lot of deaths, it's been a lot of murders. When we gonna further this and get past that? I think people can get past it, but as far as, you know, being together, pushing peace together, I don't think that's going to happen. I think on the internet, you can see the pushing peace shit real big, but as far as on the street, it's still 500, 600, 700 motherfuckers getting killed every day out here on these streets. Like on some real shit, you know? So when people ask me, can Dirk stop the violence? I don't think he can stop no violence. Ain't no motherfucker out here listening to no motherfucker Lil Durk. Don't let the rap and the music confuse you. The real killings is happening in these neighborhoods. It's a culture of killing going on out here. People think that shit cool. But Dirk, he took more losses than anybody. So that's the reason I did this video, man. Because a lot of people been asking me that, man. Why Dirk stop the peace, man? You heard his song. He said he wished he could stop the war. I said, if you listen to it, he said he wished he could stop the war. He really want to live in peace. Then he said, I wish I could stop the war, but it's too late for them to speak. When he said that, it's too late for them to speak. Right at that moment, he took his head off and showed you the side of it that said D-Thang. His brother was killed. Y'all didn't peep that shit in the video. When he said it's too late for them to speak, he took his head off right at the second and showed you D-Thang on his head. Once his brother was killed over a lot of this nonsense shit, it's hard. That shit hit home. It's different than your homie getting killed, but when you gotta bury your brothers and your mama cry and all kind of shit like that, that shit hit home. So I don't think Dirk could stop the war. I don't think he wanna stop the war, but I think he could forget about a lot of shit, live in past. Him and his homies ain't gotta be sliding on motherfuckers and shit. Y'all stay there and we stay over here, you know. I don't think Dirk runs shots like that. I think he rich. I think people listen to him. I think, you know, he can make sure that people around him not doing Dirk, living fucked up. But as far as Chicago as a whole now, come on now. Niggas ain't listening to their own mamas, bro. Niggas out here cussing their mama out, calling their mamas bitches and hoes. Niggas done knock their daddies out, all kind of shit. What the fuck make you think they finna listen to Dirk? Like, goes to real shit. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. I'll be back doing interviews in a couple days. It's the homie Truth.